Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a bonus general message. We start these ones out with something real that happened, usually an anecdote pertaining to my dog. We see if that sets the tone. All I will say is that today my day did not go at all as I had expected or anticipated. There were some impromptu significant changes and all kinds of things that popped up out of nowhere. And of course, Aries just rolled with the punches as he is wont to do. But we'll see. Maybe that'll factor in, like somebody rolling with changes all of a sudden. We've got an emperor. An emperor, usually they don't just roll with the changes. They are a driving force behind changes, or they master whatever comes their way that was unexpected. They pull a skill set out of their bag of tricks that's what makes them an emperor, right? Somebody who just, they make the right choice in the right moment. Eight of Wands. Whatever happened here, this emperor maybe had to they had to find the right words, and they might have done that gracefully. They may have found exactly the way to take action or to convey a message that was really important. The Hermit. So right now we've got a Virgo, and we've also got an Aries energy coming in because we saw that Emperor first, and now with the Hermit we've got Virgo. It's interesting because it's either that, or it's that somebody wants to figure out how to talk to an individual who's been pretty quiet, an individual who's been deep in thought. We have two different energies here, because this is action taking, decisive, knowing what to say, to a person who has been in silent mode, who has been contemplative, who has been, whomever the Hermit is, has not been dealing with the Emperor. The Emperor is decisive and knows that they want to talk. The Hermit person has been doing none of that. I don't feel like this is one and the same. I don't know what happened to my voice there, so we just roll with it sometimes. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Wow. So that Hermit person, they've been silent because they've been contemplating. Okay, so I'm just going to say the way I see it. What this Hermit person has decided in their contemplation is, and this may be incorrect, but they decided that when someone doesn't give me the full story, it's because they're intentionally withholding information because they're lying. And this thought process, even though it may not be correct, it got bigger and bigger and bigger for this Hermit person. You notice how we have this little person standing here, and then we have these huge, like, instead of like it just being these beautiful trees in the forest, they became like these gigantic forest goblins. That to me represents the thought process, the assumption that I don't trust this person, or I don't trust anybody. When people tell me only this much information, just a little pages amount of energy or a little pages amount of information, that's when I know someone's lying. Someone's lying through their teeth. So that's what the Hermit has decided here. However, remember, the Emperor over here wants to take charge of a situation and have a serious conversation, take some serious action. I think we should change decks now and let the Emperor do their talking. I think the Emperor might need both of these decks, but for some reason I want to swamp-a-roo and grab the second deck first. Okay. Emperor, what do you want to talk about? Five of Coins. If the Emperor didn't give at some point, they may be wanting to explain why they didn't. Or in this case, this is like they want to offer somebody something. Maybe it's a peace offering, but it's after a time of, you know, a Five of Pentacles is usually a time of abandonment or a loss. They may want to convey a loss that they have. Maybe they're saying, you know, all this stuff slipped right through my hands. I want to tell you that my situation, the things that slipped right through my hands. We have got a Four of Swords in the reverse, and we've got the Star card. Star card here is, sorry, I have to cover her up because she not got clothes on. Oh gosh, I hope that wasn't facing the opposite direction all the while and I was showing it to the camera. I'm gonna have to go back and check that. Sorry, I was thinking out loud there. This Emperor is talking about, or what they want to talk about is that loss, that something that now they can talk about, Their healing has happened, and they're in a very different energy now. They either have a wish fulfillment that can be theirs, or they got the sun in the reverse. They know what it is that they want. They're ready to have happiness. They've healed from something. They're no longer at a disadvantage. They no longer have a loss. Whatever slipped through their fingers, they've healed from that. But the thing is, they're not happy. Even though they're healed, they're not happy yet. But they do know what they want as their wish fulfillment. So this Emperor has a lot to say, right? Tell me more about the star part of this. King of Coins and the Hermit. So this Emperor is extremely ready to talk to this Hermit person and tell them that the Hermit has been on their mind all this time, that they've wanted to offer something to the Hermit all this time, that at this point they're able to do that, that it's almost like all along this journey that they were on, it's kind of like the Hermit continued to be a guiding light for them, which is interesting because the Hermit has a very different perspective of a situation. They think whatever someone didn't tell me, it's because they was cloaked in lies. Whatever they chose not to like inform me of, it's because they were keeping lies. They were keeping things. So the Hermit does not see it that way at all. Let's choose this deck for the Hermit. Let's go over and talk to the Hermit for a moment. Hermit says, Tower in the reverse, Fool card upright, Two of Pentacles upright. The Hermit just keeps saying, I've got to just move forward. You know what? I haven't talked to this person. I've come to this conclusion that someone told me some big whopping lies. And on top of that, I need to let this go. Have I really let it go? No, no, I haven't, but I still got to let it go. And I got to be okay with something being over. And I have to find balance for myself no matter what. Why? Tell me about the Seven of Swords one more time for that Hermit, because that's a pretty significant card. The Magician, the Queen of Pentacles. So in their mind, they say what someone was lying about is that they wanted to be with me. Could be a Virgo, could be a Capricorn, could be a Taurus, doesn't have to be. We also have Gemini coming in along with the Virgo vibe on the Magician card. But they say, no, what someone lied about is that they claimed that they wanted to manifest something with me, but that was just lies. And I got to be okay with that, and I got to let it go. So that's where the Hermit's energy is. It's like, it just wasn't real. That's just how that is. And I have to make peace with that. Let's go to that other deck with the Emperor here. Emperor, what is Emperor really going to do? Because we've seen like the conversation that they want to have. We have a Ten of Swords in the reverse. This Emperor wants to reverse that Ten of Swords. They want to not have this hurt. They want to undo that ending. Five of Cups. It's like they may want to reverse it, but they're coming in and they're standing right across the bridge. Like this Emperor has not crossed the bridge yet. Why is this Emperor feeling so much grief here? They're standing. I mean, I'm wondering if it's because that Hermit is up in that tower. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. They have so much grief. I think that they weren't there to give that sense of balance to that Hermit person. They are, I'm asking what they're going to do. And it looks like they're going to try to undo this grief that they've caused the other person. Two of Swords, Seven of Cups. But they don't quite know how to do that. They're thinking over it. How do I make this right? How do I undo this? Knight of Wands sideways, Temperance upright. They know that they can't come in and be like super passionate because then they'll just look like a player, but there is passion that they want to show. But they're saying, ultimately, I have to come in balanced. I know that that's what I have to do. I have to show that there's balance. Hold on. Why again? I'm unclear on what happened here, because remember, our Queen of Pentacles said The lie was that they wanted anything with me. They didn't. That was just a lie. So Emperor, why does the Queen of Pentacles think that of the Emperor's behavior? Let's see if Emperor can explain that. Death. Because they ghosted. I mean, literally, we see a ghost here. Whew, so that explains, again, that 5 of Pentacles. They want to come in and they want to talk about that ghosting, that abandonment, that loss, that when they just let go and like a puff of smoke, they just disappeared. Why did they ghost? We've just had a ghosting story. I think yesterday. Justice card, the Chariot. They may have been dealing with some kind of a legal issue. Their legal issue may have actually required them to go elsewhere, to go deal with it. They may literally have had to, I mean, maybe they had to be incarcerated. Maybe there was a debt to pay to society. This can be like significant. Now, why somebody ghosts instead of says, I made some mistakes and this is, I have to pay my debt to society. Remember, this person is an emperor, though. By the way, we have Scorpio, we have Libra, and we have Cancerian that's just popped up. Tell me about the Chariot card. Where did they go? We know that they went away. Page of Wands. They literally had to turn their back on something completely to deal with something else entirely. And it's almost like they had to go put out a fire. 7 of Swords. I don't know. Did this person get embroiled in something? I mean, this is highly specific, but I'll say it anyway. Did they get embroiled in something that turned out to be? There were lies involved. You notice how this person has been captured by the guards that are bringing them in for like, no, you stole this, you ran away with this, you did something here that you weren't supposed to do, and now the guards have caught you. It almost seems like this person got themselves in trouble for some kind of lie they told. And maybe it was something that impacted their life. Now, we do have a woman hollering back here. Maybe they got in trouble because somebody else told a lie about them. Maybe they were really... It may not have been them who lied at all. I'm inclined to say that because they are showing up as an emperor. If they're showing up as an emperor tends to have their act together. Now, it doesn't mean that they've always been an emperor. Emperors can make big mistakes and then they can, tidy up their lives. We all have a chance at redemption, right? We can all make ourselves better people and become those emperors and empresses despite whatever background we've had and the mistakes and errors we've made if we genuinely change and grow. So could they still have been the liar, pants on fire who got caught doing something they weren't supposed to and they had to pay a debt to society or something? Sure. But the bottom line is they paid that debt to society. But right now, I'm almost inclined to say if they got themselves into some kind of trouble, because remember, Justice card is here, it might have been someone accused them of this or that, and they didn't even do something wrong. And I only say that because we got somebody very angry back here, hooting and hollering. Now, maybe they tried to evade someone, and that alone brought a lot of drama, Let me just one more on this. It's funny because, like, not funny, haha, but we have the 7 of Swords both times just staring at me, This was really big, whatever this was. This is the crux of everything. This is the reason, this relationship, this is the whole reason that an emperor ghosted. This is the whole reason that the Hermit said, the only reason that I can think of is that they were lying. They didn't want anything to do with me. And that's why... that's why I know that they were just lying. But keep in mind, the ideas that the Hermit had have grown into these big forest goblins, meaning they had a little too much time to think about all the negatives as to what happened, why. Whatever it really was, it basically shattered this emperor's life. Whatever they faced with that karma card, it wrecked some part of their life for a while. They had things that they had to clean up. The rubble they had to clean up. So if they ticked somebody off royally, if they did something that made somebody mad at them, whoo, that person came in for some kind of unpleasant vengeance, sicked the guards on them, maybe told a whopper of a lie, but they still had to then deal with that whopper of a lie, and it dismantled their life for a little while. I mean, I certainly hope that didn't happen to our character, but that's one interpretation based off of this collection of cards. Let's get one last card here. Emperor, tell us about the Justice one more time. Queen of Wands. I don't know if they dealt with somebody who, if there was a Queen of Wands who was at the source of all of this, but came out smelling like a rose. She was very believable. I mean, she's in the upright though, so she doesn't come across as somebody that would be unpleasant. But the Justice card is here, which indicates something was unfair. Something wasn't handled right. And when I ask about the Justice card, we see lies and we see something that wrecked their world. Now, maybe they had told her some lies, though. And maybe she simply said, oh, really? Oh, really? You're going to tell me some lies? Well, let me go ahead and make sure that you are held accountable after all. It seems to me that they crossed somebody. Now, here's the thing. If somebody crosses somebody and they do somebody wrong, there is that Justice card is karma also. It's, actions have consequences. I'm not saying, oh, well, that Queen of Wands should have, tried to wreck their life. Not at all. I'm just saying that if they did do something that caused somebody else to be that upset with them, and then that person, does create drama. Say it was the Emperor who actually did tell some lies, and then eventually, that catches up to them more or less at a really inopportune moment, right when they were starting to get something going with that Queen of Pentacles. It could have just been, like our past actions sometimes come back to revisit us, is kind of what that is hinting at. We have the Devil card that came out sideways, though. This is something that, you know what? It needed to be set right. Any way we slice it. This is not a story of, oh, well, this Queen of Wands was such a villain and she tried to ruin their lives and blah, blah, blah. She's in the upright. Yes, there were some lies and things. Yes, it brought everything crumbling down. But it's with the Devil sideways, it actually says this wasn't some action of toxicity and retribution and cruelty and, oh, how dare that Queen of Wands try to ruin their life. This actually says, no, there were things that needed to be set right. And the Justice card said it too. If there had been like some toxic bond between the Emperor and that Queen of Wands, and they really didn't do well together, them facing these realities and having things crumble and dealing with whatever the circumstances were, actually helped to relieve the toxicity. It brought it to the light. Then it was able to be dealt with. But it's almost like, I think of it like this, think of like a storage unit that's been packed to the gills with all kinds of crud. And maybe somewhere in those boxes, we got some bins of maybe there've been some mice in there that have been chewing away at stuff and making stinkies and all kinds of messes. And you know what? We can try not to deal with it for a really long time. But if you're thinking that, okay, I'm moving to a new place or moving to a new state or moving to a new country, just moving on with my life, guess what? That storage unit is full of stuff. You either have to still pay for it, or you got to, give it all away or do something with it. But remember, there could be a big old rat's nest in there too. So it's a mess and it's all jammed in there and stored in there. And at some point you can try to avoid it, but you really can't. You got to deal with it. And it's going to be better if you pull it all out, clean it all up, get rid of the stuff honorably. Don't leave unpaid bills. Don't leave your crap in storage. And, don't leave rubble behind. That's what they did. They had to air all this out. Guys, I'm going to do a part 2 on this one, I think, because this is still pretty complicated. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in part 2. The free link will be right there in the description box. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Before you bounce over there, please do give this one a thumbs up and subscribe if you're watching. If you enjoy my fictional storytelling, it lets me know that you like the channel and want me to keep doing it, and then I shall. Thank you guys, as always, for hanging out. Bye for now. I'll see you in part 2.